Hello, it's a pleasure to present today. Let's start the presentation. We'll learn about more about the art called Les Sabines. The audience is set up as people who are not familiar with this painting and do not have professional knowledge, so that it can be more understandable and intuitive. This is the contents. Today, I would like to introduce the artworks that I enjoyed while visiting the Louvre Museum virtually. It is the world's largest art museum, located in Paris, France. It has different collections from different areas and world-class masterpieces. Through this virtual exhibition, I was able to appreciate various masterpieces online, especially the Les Sabines, which was completed by French artist David Jacques-Louis in 1799. In this presentation, we'll first look at external features, analyze the formal elements of the work, and then look at the various contexts together. Next is a text description. The painting is on oil on a large canvas with many figures placed throughout the screen. At the center of the composition, a woman in a white dress blocks two girls with open arms, while armed fighters confront each other on the left and right. In the foreground, a child and old man are lying down, adding to the urgency of the scene. In the background, there is a little blue sky between the city's fortress and dark clouds, creating the atmosphere of war. Next is the formal analysis. First, let's look at the scale of this work. The height and widths are like this, and the figures are depicted almost life size or larger. This right scale does not just show the scene, it emphasizes the weight as a historical event and draws the audience into the work. Next is the medium. It was painted on canvas with oil, thanks to the smooth and in-depth texture unique to the oil painting. The colors of the skin, fabric, and matter are expressed realistically. In particular, it is thanks to the merits of the oil painting that enables the depiction of sculpture, like human body, which is a neoclassical characteristic. Next is the composition. The female figure in the center becomes the axis that separates the entire screen, and male warriors on the left and right confront each other. This composition conveys balance and tension at the same time, naturally focusing the audience's eyes on the center scene. This composition dramatically reveals the themes of conflict and mediation. Next is the pictorial space. The screen space is clearly divided into foreground, middle ground, and background. There are shadow and fallen figures in the front, women and warriors in the central scene, and the castles and skyseas in the background. This perspective composition gives a sense of depth and gives a broad sense of the epic scope of the event. Next is the form. The figures and objects were expressed as hard as sculptures throughout light and shade. Each human body is realistic and three-dimensional, just like a marble sculpture. This type of emphasis gives the characteristics a heroic status, adding moral weight to the work. Next is the line. The contrast of various lines stands out in this work. First of all, the spearheads, shells, and architecture are all in strong straight lines and diagonals, which convey the tension and aggression of the work. On the other hand, the arms and dresses of female figures and the bodies of young children are expressed in soft curves. The contrast of these straight lines and curves is a visual representation of the themes of war and peace and violence and humanity. Next is the color. The color is understated a dropout. It is dominated by earth, clay, and ochre, and the white dress of the central woman is in strong contrast. White represents purity and peace, and the gold of the metal shield shows the weight of power and war. Next is the texture. The texture is also very delicate. The skin is smooth, the fabric is expressed in soft wrinkles, and the metal is expressed in a shimmering sheen. These differences in texture provide the audience with a sensory sense of reality and contrast the character of each material. Next is the light. Light creates a theatrical effect. The light source intensively illuminates the center and dark zone. the surroundings. As if the spotlight was on the stage, the audience fixed their eyes on the most important scene. Next is the shape. In form, geometric figures are contrasted. The central figure forms a wide and stable composition, symbolizing an unshakable moral center. On the contrary, warriors' bodies and weapons create irregular, repetitive forms, creating confusion and tension. Last is the movement, the horse's posture, the flying crows, the outstretched arms, and so on, such as dynamism. The entire scene, however, seems as if the moment has come to the standstill, indicating that it has captured a decisive moment. The audience's eyes eventually come together as a woman in the center, focusing on the message of this scene, mediation and reconciliation. Next is the contextual analysis. In the historical context, it was completed in 1799, and David planned his work while he was imprisoned at the Luxembourg Palace in 1795. At the time, France was in a civil war after the revolution and was at war with many European countries. David was imprisoned for supporting Robespierre and was in the midst of the political turmoil of the Rebellion of Terror and the Dominarian reaction. Understanding this historical background shows that the scene of the Sabine woman's intervention is not just a mythological event, but it metaphorically conveys the need for social reconciliation and unity amid chaos and division. In a cultural context, David dedicated the painting to his wife and tried to tell the story on the theme of love and children's protection. It also contains a message urging the unity and peace of the people after the revolution. The woman's actions in the painting are not just intervention, but also human appeals, moral responsibility, family, and social harmony. Through this, the audience can understand civil values and moral norms emphasized in French society at the time by linking them with the scenes in the painting. In an artist context, as a neoclassical artist, David placed importance on balanced composition, realistic depiction, and contrast. Intervention of the Sabine woman also emphasizes the dramatic tension and subtlety of events through large-scale canvases, dynamic compositions, and intense line and color contrasts. He also strengthened the narrative meaning by utilizing the iconic elements of Roman legend, combat scenes, and the arrangement of babies and women. These artistic techniques are not just visual devices, but are key means of conveying the message of conflict and reconciliation and the contrast between violence and humanity. Next is conclusion. This analysis shows that the painting is not just a historical representation, but a work that conveys a message of reconciliation that combines forms and context. Form analysis visually emphasized conflict and mediation by focusing attention on female characters centered on the composition, color, light, and movement. The contextual analysis confirmed that these devices metaphorically reveal the need for social division and reconciliation after the French Revolution. And then formal choices go beyond mere aesthetic effects. The two analyses complement each other, showing interactions in which form reinforces meaning and context makes the form understood. Throughout the virtual exhibition, I felt firsthand that David delivers a multi-layered message by combining historical reality, human values, and artist techniques. At first, it was viewed as a simple mystical scene, but as I learned that the background and intention, I could accept it as a work that appealed for social reconciliation. As such, I realized that while existing experiences and expectations improves interpretation, an open perspective leads to a deeper understanding. Thank you.